So maybe this is gonna be hard for you guys to understand, or maybe you won't even care. But this is a weird thing that I just noticed. Like, there's this dude, right? This guy right here. This guy Andy Nowicki. Andy Nowicki. Okay, this dude. He's kind of like what they call alt right. Back like I don't know. I don't think people use that term anymore, but this is what they call this guy's alt right. Like, he's a writer or something. He wrote a few books and he's got some columns and stuff. So now he sends out this little like email thing to people, and I picked it up because I'm not a fan of this guy, but I like to be aware of these people, what they talk about. So he sent me this. Yeah, Fury got destroyed, and well, I wouldn't say destroyed, but it was pretty. Yeah, he won. Anyway, okay. So with this thing, so now what I want to talk about with this thing is Andy Nowicki. Okay, Andy Nowicki, this guy who wrote this thing, he is a commentator, a writer, or something for the alt right. All right, which is a term that's kind of fallen out of favor now, but people still kind of use it. So this is what they used to call this guy, alt right. Anyway, so he wrote this thing, Brett Cooper and the Vanishing 6 Million, Now, if you guys know what 6 million refers to, Daily Wire erupts in controversy over new revisionist claims. Revisionists, you see? So what he's hinting at is that he's trying to make a joke about how these people are all Jews and how he doesn't believe in the event that shall not be denied, which you know about, starts with an H. Ever since perky young brunette conservative YouTuber Brett Cooper made the shocking announcement that she was leaving the Daily Wire, controversy has raged over the precise amount of subscribers her show, the comments section, actually has. Long maintained to be at or at least around the 6 million mark, some have lately asserted that the actual number is more likely closer to 4 million. Others have reckoned the number of Brett's subscribers to be closer to 2 million, while a few have even dared to suggest that there may be as few as 200,000 actual subscribers to Brett's former show, the comments section. Official representatives of the Daily Wire have been. See what he's trying to do? He's making a joke, right? He's making a joke about the 6 million, But I just wanted to point that out because I actually had a video by that guy in my watch later list, but we never got around to it. So now I'm gonna look at it. I can't remember what it was about now, but let's check it out. Oh, here it is. This guy. So now this is okay. So this is what I wanted to show you guys. This is Andy Nowicki. Okay. I wanted to show you this one because this guy talked about a thing.
Other,
See how he's talking about something to do with like the Bible? This is from the Bible. Hope deferred, maketh the heart sick. That's from Proverbs. So I thought that was weird. And then I started watching this video and it was very weird. This is the guy who just wrote that thing I just showed you about Brett Cooper. All right. So listen to what this guy's saying.
There's a passage from the Bible, I think it's in Psalms, and it goes, hope deferred.
It's not in Psalms, it's Proverbs. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick. But when it cometh, or when the thing cometh, it's like a tree of life. That's what it says, okay? Anyway, listen to what he says.
There's a passage from the Bible, I think it's in Psalms, and it goes, hope deferred maketh the heart sick. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick. I think that it's time to cease to have hope, or maybe it was always time to cease to have hope about certain things, like the Epstein list getting released, like the all of the photographs and information that the CIA has kept a secret about the JFK assassination, and that they continue to insist is not fit for public consumption now.
See what I'm saying? Like, these guys on the right? They'll talk about the Epstein thing. They'll talk about, like, what was he just talking about just now? The JFK thing. Or they'll talk about, like, he'll even go as far as talking about the 6 million thing, right? Like Candace Owens won't do that. But even Candace Owens, they'll talk about Epstein all the time. They'll go on and on about it like it's some thing, right? Which we now we start to realize the real conspiracy theorists are realizing that Epstein was just a lark, it's just a red herring, it's a distraction. And whatever Epstein was doing, it's like peanuts compared to what they're really doing.
They continue to insist is not fit for public consumption now, even 70 years later, even though it was supposed to have been released in, I think, 2017 or something. And people now are saying, well, when Trump gets in, he's gonna release it again, and it's gonna get out there. Nothing can stop what's coming, and all that. I really don't want to pour cold water over everybody's hopes and dreams, and I don't want to be black-pilled. Like I said, there should always be that little.
Whoa! He just did it there. It's weird. I didn't know he was like that. He might be.
I don't want to be black-pilled. Like I said, there should always.
He might be one of them. I don't know. I don't know what's up with this guy, man. I have a friend who likes this guy, so that's partly why I kind of got interested in him. But he's very weird. It's very weird for a person like this. He denies the event that shall not be denied, but at the same time, he's trying to talk about Epstein and stuff. Like he doesn't get the big picture of these things, so it's very weird. These people. So I don't know what's going on with these guys. I really don't know.
Always be that little that little disclaimer, the asterisk. This is not a black-pilled video because I'm not a black-pilled kind of guy, because I'm very against black-pilling. So it's not saying don't live your life, in accordance with what's good. It's not saying that it's over and there's nothing we can do about it. That there's nothing will ever improve, nothing will ever. And so forth. All those things, that the black-pilled people tend to say. I'm not saying anything like that. All I'm saying is we need to stop hoping that we're finally going to get the information that we're entitled to have, the information that will expose the horrible people who are running the show. I just if I still it's hard for me to believe that there are still QAnon types out there. It's just hard for me to believe that after the first term of Trump, nothing got released, nothing got put out there. If Trump's agenda was all along to expose the perverts in Hollywood and in Washington, and to take down the child trafficking networks and all that kind of stuff, if that was a part of what he was all about, he could have done it. I mean, there's no reason why, especially when he was not going to. And I said this in the video at around that time, when he was a lame duck president, and he had 60 days before he had to leave office. He could have used that time to just absolutely go. What's the term? That's just to go all out.
He did it again. He did it again there.
And I do. Certainly hate your government. I think you have every right.
Sorry. I went.
Nothing got put out there.
Sorry, you guys.
If Trump's had done it, I mean, there's no reason why, especially when, he was not going to. And I said this in the video at around that time, when he was a lame duck president, and he had 60 days before he had to leave office. He could have used that time to just absolutely go. What's the term? That's just.
See, you did it again right there. It's weird, right? Is that weird, or did I just
go?
Paranoid?
What's the term?
Why is he doing that? Why do that?
That's just to go all out, to go ham. Because what was there to lose, right? He could have exposed everything, because what was there to lose? He was already already going to be leaving office, and at the time we didn't know whether he'd be back. So what was there to lose? And yet nothing happened. Even Julian Assange didn't get pardoned. I mean, what kind of world do we live in where Hunter Biden gets pardoned and Julian Assange rots in jail until until he finally works
See,
out a
like
deal.
this is the type of thing too. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, so this guy's trying to tell you that he does believe that JFK was assassinated by a conspiracy. He does believe that the Epstein, like, I don't know. I guess he believes Epstein was a real thing. So so he thinks that, okay, we need to release the Epstein flight logs and all those things, right? So that's what he's saying. At the same time, he's also saying that, what did you just
Rots
say?
in jail.
Oh yeah, yeah. At the same time, he thinks that like that guy from WikiLeaks. What's that guy's name? That guy. What's the guy's name? Sorry.
What was there to lose? And yet nothing happened. Even
Julian Assange. Julian Assange, right? He thinks
Julian
Julian
Assange
Assange.
didn't get pardoned.
Like Julian Assange is clearly a shill. Also, like, so if you understand that JFK was assassinated by a conspiracy, and you understand that, you know, Epstein, the logs and stuff, we need to release those logs, and you understand that the event that shall not be denied was not what we're told, right? If you understand all those things, then how could you possibly think Julian Assange is our friend or something, you know?
I mean, what kind of world do we live in where Hunter Biden gets pardoned and Julian Assange, rots in jail, until he finally works out a deal with, the corrupt authorities that whereby he's not supposed to talk about anything anymore, but they'll let him out of there.
Even that, what's he doing with his hand right there, bro? Anyway, it's weird, but it might be like a backwards, like Mano Cornuso, yeah.
Prison after however many years he spent in there. Anyway, I don't think we should expect to get this.
No, I'm saying one of my friends likes this guy and listens to him and pays attention to him. So that's why I started paying attention to him. I started noticing some weird stuff. And that's why I just want to show you this video because two things. Because one, he used the Bible verse in the title. And two, he's talking about all these conspiracies and stuff that we always talk about, but he also talks about it in a weird way. So that's why I just thought I'd show it to you. Maybe it'd be interesting, maybe not. But it relates to the thing about Brett Cooper. That's why I was kind of also bringing him in.
I don't think we should expect to get this kind of information. I remember the comedian, in 2024, it's all going down. It's all going down in 2024. I remember him. I remember that video, and all the stuff about, and all the newer stuff about Diddy and other, high profile stuff, and as everybody expected, everybody on edge. Pretty soon, all these names are gonna be out there. Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, like Diddy and people like that. That's what they call throwing people under the bus. And probably Diddy, the whole thing. I don't think Diddy's even really gonna go to jail or anything. But like, I think like even or Bill Cosby or any of those people, like or OJ or any of those people, right? They're not really. It's just a show. It's just a circus. They put it on TV so you can think that they're gonna get punished or whatever. It's not what it's about, man. It's about like there's a lot of messaging that's going on in line with those things, but it's not to actually catch people that are doing wrong things.
And does that mean we should stop caring about this stuff? No, I think it doesn't. It doesn't mean that to me at all. I think we should care about it. I think high level depravity and corruption is worth paying attention to, worth talking about, worth exposing. But why do we, it's sort of like, well, Reagan had this thing long ago. The same sort of demographic that is into Trump now loved Reagan back in the 80s, and Reagan had this thing about the government is not the solution to the problem. The government is the problem. The worst words you can hear are "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." These were great lines, and it wasn't, people didn't talk about memes back then, but they were brilliant memes for the 80s, if memes existed in the 80s. Reagan could sling them, but it was always strange to me, like if your deal is that you dislike government, and then you want to become the head of the executive, the president of the United States, the one who's in charge of at least one of the major branches of government, like do you really hate it that much if you're going all out to obtain this kind of power within government? Does that how much hate can you really have?
They did it again.
This kind of power within government, does that how much hate can you really have for the government? How much can you really be against the government? And then I just think about one other thing. When Clinton said after the Oklahoma City bombing, which was kind of like a 9/11, a mini 9/11, in that we never found out what the truth was. The who really did it, and it was probably an inside job. But just the same as 9/11, the same as a lot of things. But after this happened, Clinton made this statement. He said, "You cannot love your country and hate your government." He actually said that. He said, "You cannot love your country and hate your government." Oh yes, you can. Oh yes, you can. Yes, you certainly can. I don't know if I love my country per se. I think it's virtuous to love one's own country. I don't always love it. Sometimes I'm pretty annoyed with it. Sometimes I like it. There's definitely some things about it that I like, and I think that there is still a significant demographic within the United States of America that is worthy of love, that is decent and honorable, and I think it's still that's still out there. The whole culture hasn't totally gone to ruin, but regardless, I think proper patriotism is to love your country for all of its flaws, for all of its strengths and all of its weaknesses as well. You love it because it's yours. Same way that you love your family. You might be from a really messed up family. You might be from a family that's got a lot of problems, but you still love them. I mean, unless they all did terrible things to you, then I think you're absolved from familial love, except in the sense of we're still called to love our enemies and all that sort of thing. But I don't think you have to. If you were abused by your family, then I don't think you're necessarily necessarily have to think about your family with love. But in most situations, it's not anything quite that stark. Your family is at times annoying, at times infuriating, but at other times, really decent and good and wholesome, and there are some people that you like more than others, and there's some people that it's easier to love than to like. I hear that said. It's always funny to hear people talked about that way. Like I love my grandmother, but sometimes it's hard for me to like her. I'm not talking about my own grandmother, by the way. I'm just saying that's
anyway. This is boring. So I just wanted to point out that these right wingers, a lot of them, like, they'll talk about stuff that was normally off limits. Even Candace Owens, she'll get into all that stuff. Like, she talked about the USS Liberty. Most people in the mainstream media will never talk about the USS Liberty. You might be able to get the occasional story about it, but they won't talk about it the way I'm sure Candace Owens did that day. And stuff like that, Amen. Amen, brother. But yeah, anyway, so the point of why I wanted to bring him up was that just to show that it's weird that these guys now feel like they could talk about that stuff. Very odd, very weird.
Okay. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Studying the Bible with Mike, Sam, Pat. These other YouTubers are just so trash. Hit the thumbs up if you wanna support. Go follow Mike as he follows the Lord. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 You better watch out, Mike's calling out the shills. If you're not free grace, you need to sit down and chill. We're not hyper grace, you know we keep it real. Eternally secure, you know that we're sealed. We don't back low, we're not workspace heretics. Mike's not in it for the money, trying to get a lick. They out here selling their souls for a couple clicks. Becoming Freemasons so they can't just get rich. I'm studying the Bible in Toronto. 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 Shout out to Mike Sampat. Check out his channel, Toronto Bible Study. Subscribe and like.